Dear friends, I have been trying to teach you about thinking like God. Yes, thinking like God. You put your thoughts in alignment with God's thoughts. How is that? Isn't it awesome? First, I want to tell you, majority of people, I don't want to give a percentage, but I can tell you, majority of people are brainwashed and programmed to think negative. Majority of people. Maybe today it is you, that you are thinking negative. And this is, for me, revolutionary in your life, if you put this into practice, okay? First of all, I want to tell you this, why everybody, every person on the face of the earth is inclined to think negative first. Do you know why? I can tell you why. 3 things. First, we live in a sinful nature. Second, we live in a cursed world. Don't you feel we live in a cursed world every day? You are hearing negative reports on the media, weather channels, news channels, you know, all kinds of channels, social media every day talking about sex trafficking, wars, people are being beheaded by ISIS. What do you think? Every day media is feeding you negative. Let's say you think you are watching something positive. Let's look at this way. You are watching something in Hollywood positive. You are looking at a picture in a magazine, a beautiful girl, whether you're a woman or a man. Do you know? It's gonna turn into negative because it affects your self-image. You start developing a poor self-image because even with that may look so beautiful, enemy can use it, your flesh can use it, turn it into something negative that you are not living up to that beauty standards. Look at this. So you are trapped. So you have your sinful nature, then you have this cursed world, and then you have the devil, enemy. I call him negative whisperer in your life. And how are you going to come against these 3 things to be able to fight your battles and think? This is not a positive thinking teaching, okay? But I am calling this a hopeful thinking. Hopeful thinking is a positive thinking. Because how can someone who has faith in Jesus Christ can speak negative? How you can predict negative, prophesy negative into your life, into your ministry, into your children's life, if your hope and trust is in the Lord? If you are walking by sight, then you are speaking negative because everything you see around you is falling apart. Everything you see in the world is devastated. So what you are thinking is actually what you are seeing. But if you are walking by faith takes thinking positive, thinking hopeful. You can say, well, I am a realistic person. I see the real picture in things. That's fine. I am not telling you be disillusional. I am not telling you that the enemy, the thief, real thief, not figurative speech, is knocking at your door and you don't call 911. I'm not talking about that. But you do not lose heart. You don't get faint heart when things are not going your way. And you don't start speaking negative into your situation. I just want to tell you, recently we had storm, in the United States, and you turn the weather channel and they say, oh, this is, category 5 level hurricane. This is not going to be good. This is heading over this place. Okay, so do we have a serious, real situation? Yes, we do. Hurricane is coming to our way, maybe, or your way. But are we going to speak negative to the situation without faith? Are you going to be prepared? Yes. But are you going to also say, oh, it's going to hit our town. It's going to devastate us. We are going to be without electricity for 2 weeks. This is no faith talking. So I want to challenge you today. I talked to you before from Philippians chapter 4. Do not be anxious of anything, but I want to challenge you today. As God's children, we cannot walk by sight. We have to walk by faith. We have to look at things through the eyes of faith. We need to be able to say, God got this. I let go, I let God. I trust in my God. Maybe today you have no money in your bank account and you have thousands of dollars of bills to pay and you don't have a job. How are you going to speak? Are you going to say, even in this situation, I trust God, who turned 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread to feed multitudes? I trust in God. I am going to praise God. I am going to worship God. I am going to thank God. Are you going to say, like in Psalm 121, I lift my eyes to the hills where my help comes from? I love this song. My help comes from the Lord. So are you able to say, my help doesn't come from the government, my help doesn't come even from the White House, my help doesn't come from my parents, my help doesn't come from my paycheck, my help comes from the Lord. If your help comes from the Lord, how can you speak negative into your circumstance? How can you speak doubt and worry and anxiety into your circumstance? You know what? You cannot. So this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You know what? What you are going through is going to whether bring closer to God or closer to the enemy. It's better for you today. In your circumstance, you turn to God.